So, first of all, I would like to apologize for having been absent for so long. I promise I have a good excuse. I was sick for 2 weeks, okay? My voice was completely nauseating. It was disgusting. This is like the third day of me having my somewhat normal voice back. I feel like it's at 95%. It's not completely what it should be, but I am not complaining. I was tagged to do a book tag video. Is that how you say that? I was tagged to do a book tag video. I was tagged by Celestria, and I was honestly so thrilled. Like, I have 9 subscribers right now, you guys, and I feel like big stuff. Like, I'm nobody I've actually met in real life, but it's so much fun. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Celestria, for tagging me. That was awesome to see while I was sick. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I will do this when I get a voice back. So anyway, I'm back with a voice, and here we go. So the first question is,
you have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read next?
I have a rather simple answer for this. I only have 42 books on my TBR. And, yeah. So how do I decide what to read next? I pick one and read it, depending on what my mood is. There's not much structure, rhyme, rhythm, or reason to it. 20,000 books, I cannot imagine. I would be so overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed half the time with 42 books on my TBR, so I very much believe in quality over quantity when it comes to reading. So, question 2.
You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit or stay committed?
This is one that if you would have asked me 2 years ago, I would have said 100% I'm going to read it all the way through. I'm going to stay committed. But if I'm halfway through a book and I'm just not loving it and I can tell that I'm not going to love it, usually there's a specific reason why, like some kind of content that I don't agree with or some kind of content that unsettles me. And so, for that reason, I would probably not finish it. Most of the time, though, I will give a book a chance and read it all the way through because I still kind of feel like I have no right to say anything about a book unless I read it to the end and give it every chance possible. Number 3.
The end of the year is coming and you're so close, but yet so far away on your Goodreads reading challenge. Do you try to catch up, and how?
So this is an interesting one because I was actually just talking to one of my real life friends about this the other day. And she was talking about her reading goals and challenges that she set for herself and stuff. And I was like, I read to escape stuff like that. I really do not have a lot of structure when it comes to like what I'm reading and how fast I'm reading. If I'm not hitting my goals in reading, I mean, who cares? Hi, Cass. Hi, sweetie. You want to come up here with me? Honestly, if I am reading with the goal in mind of I have to finish this, I have to get through this, I have to accomplish this goal, then it takes away the fun of reading. It takes away the escape and the enjoyment of the escape, if that makes sense. Number 4 is
the covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope?
Answer, I don't cope.
This is the worst.
That is not acceptable. Under no circumstances is that ever acceptable. If it's in the same series, it better have the same look across the board, or I'm going to have issues with it. Period. Caspian, what are you doing? Y'all are getting some Caspian ASMR up in here. Hopefully you can hear his purring because that is I love that sound. It's the best sound ever. Are you saying hi to all of my 9 YouTube people that watch me? They're gonna be your biggest fan, okay? Besides me, I'm your number 1 fan. They can be your 9 other fans, okay? Caspian has my heart. Number 5 was
everyone and their mother loves a book that you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings?
So for this one, I would have to say my cousin. Shout out to Kendra. We have very similar taste when it comes to books. And so typically if I don't like a book, I will rant to her about it. Everybody needs a cousin named Kendra in their life that they can just turn to for stuff like that. Number 6.
You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you feel?
Devastated, obviously, and everybody around me is about to know that I'm devastated too. If I'm about to cry, I'm about to cry. Y'all are gonna have to deal with it. If anybody wants to ask and try to be my therapist, they can just hear my rant about the book, okay? Number 7.
A sequel of a book you love just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book, skip the sequel, find a synopsis on Goodreads, or cry in frustration?
Obviously, I'm going to be rereading the book. If I liked the first one enough to pick up the sequel, it's obviously good enough for me to reread the first book and enjoy and relive the experience of that, and then also be able to immediately after link it to the sequel, okay? That's how I feel. I am so excited about the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie that's coming out, and I know it's a little bit different than a sequel coming out. If I'm going to go and watch a movie based on a book, I'm going to be reading the book before I enter the theater. Like, as I enter the theater, I'm going to be reading the last chapter, okay? Because I want that book experience fresh in my mind before I go and watch a movie. That way I can compare them and judge them to the fullest extent possible. I'm always going to be a rereader of the book if I like it enough to pick up the sequel. Number 8.
You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people no when they ask?
The answer to this one is nobody ever asked to borrow my books. But if they did, I would 100% say yes. I'm pretty chill. If you want to read my books, you sure as heck can read my books. Number 9.
You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over a reading slump?
Thankfully, I've never struggled with a really bad reading slump because, like I said previously, I don't set really high goals or expectations for my reading life. I use it more as an escape from my real life. I really don't struggle with reading slumps, thankfully. I've never really experienced a bad one, so I can't speak on it, I guess. Number 10.
There are so many new books coming out that you are dying to read. How many do you actually buy?
If I like a book, I'm gonna buy it, okay? Why else do I work? There really aren't that many new books that come out that I'm dying to read. There are very few books that have come out that just make me want to, bust down the door of some establishment and be the first in line and push people out of the way in order to get a copy of it, okay? Very, very few. I would say I could count on one hand the books that have made me feel that way. 2 of them, I guess, were from when I was in early high school, so 13, 14, crazy fangirl phase era. Yeah, I really don't feel that way about many books that come out, so the ones that I do feel that way about, you best bet that I'm gonna be buying it, obviously. And last but not least, number 11.
After you've bought all the new books that you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelves before you actually get to read them?
Sometimes a while, I'm not gonna lie. Unless it's a book that I've been waiting for months and, I'm ready to break down the doors of establishments and push people out of the way and start a riot, start a fight to read. Sometimes they do sit on my shelves. The really anticipated books, though, they're gonna get read. Again, I don't have super structured reading goals, and so if I find a book that I really want to read, I'm gonna read it. I'm not just gonna be like, oh no, I have to read this, this, and this first. I'm just gonna read the book that I want to read in that moment. Yeah. Not real structured, not real planned, just like this video, just like my answers. So that's this video. Hopefully it was somewhat interesting. I feel like my answers were very bland and boring and not much to speak of. But you know what? I had fun making it, as per usual. So you know what? Just like reading, I'm going to keep doing it just because it's fun. And I can't let my 9 subscribers down, okay? My 9 subscribers that are rooting for me and commenting on my videos and supporting me, y'all are the best. Love y'all. So I actually have this video that I started filming in mid-May and I'm still not done with it. But I was sick for 2 weeks. Okay, I was sick for 2 weeks. That's my excuse. It's basically a video where my sister picks out 3 books for me to read in May and June based on the first sentences of the books. I had a very fun experience with that. It was very, very fun. I'm 3/4 of the way through the 3rd book, so that video should be coming up anytime soon now, hopefully. My challenge today is for you to go and do something that you think is fun, regardless of any kind of goals or whatever that you've set for yourself. Do something fun today or this week, okay? And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Come here, Caspian. You want to say bye to the people? Say bye. Say bye. Bye.